Italy is a huge popular destination for people from all over the world, and every single one of us wants to spend our holidays there. And that's for a variety of reasons indeed, but after doing some research on the internet, I found out that the status of Italy is sort of taken for granted, and many people want to go there just because it's Italy. So since no one has ever broken down why exactly and specifically why you should travel to Italy, I'll give you the best explanation of reasons to travel to Italy in the history of explanations. And if you're wondering why you should ever listen to me, well, you should know that first of all, I'm credible enough because I'm Italian, and second of all, so the first reason is cheap flights, and this mainly goes out to all my American friends out there who are used to an aviation market which differs a lot from the European one, as the US might be the land of the freedom, but Europe is the land of the low cost. Fares from Wizz Air, Ryanair and EasyJet for less than 20 euros are not rare all over Europe, and Italy is in Europe indeed, and that means that there are so many chances to travel to Italy from many countries in Europe for cheap. Ryanair, for example, has more than 15 airport bases in Italy, all the way from north to south. So if you're thinking of spending holidays in Europe and Italy might be too expensive, don't. Or rather, they might go down that road later on, but at least the initial part of booking your flight to Italy can be pretty cheap, you know? Overall, cheap flights allow you to visit Italy and enjoy the other reasons as to why you should visit it, continuing from... Number 2, history. Italy is a country which is filled with history. Most people know Rome as it is now known as the Eternal City, and rightfully so. It is the country with the most UNESCO sites per square kilometer in the world, and of course it is, considering that it was once the capital of one of the largest ancient empires at the time and one of the most renowned nowadays. However, the remains and the heritage of the Roman Empire are not to be found only in Rome, where they are of course most prominent via landmarks such as the Colosseum or the Imperial Fora, but the whole of Italy is disseminated with buildings, theaters and monuments dating back to the Roman times. And still, Italy played a main role after the fall of the Roman Empire in the Middle Ages as well. In many cities it is possible to witness art and building styles from the Renaissance times, which definitely act as a reason to visit Italy as a standalone. Also, this links to the fact that there are so many art museums all over Italy for you to pay a visit to, starting from the Brera Art Gallery in Milan to the Uffizi of Florence, passing by the Vatican Museums. Oh yeah, the Vatican. Whatever your views might be, there's no denying that the strongest bond ever in the history of bonds is the one between history and the church, at least for the last 2000 years. And with Italy being basically the place where the church was born, there's a lot of buildings and churches of historical importance for you to check out. Number 3, summer holidays. Now let's move to a more mundane aspect, with a coastline of over 8,000 kilometers, surrounded by at least 6 different seas, depending on how you count them, offering you one of the largest varieties of beaches in the world. White sand, black sand, transparent waters, not so transparent waters, there's pretty much everything you can find there that can be accustomed to your likings. Also, if you want to party, there are some areas that are more prone for younger generations having fun, spending their nights by the beach with music, while there are also other places that are more suitable for families with kids. Also, you can go out, sail the sea, go for a swim, and if you prefer fresh water, you have the option to try out the many lakes that you can find from north to south in order for you to do fishing, bathing, or do whatever. And you know why there are so many lakes? Because of the mountains. And you know what having those mountains mean? Winter holidays, which is the 4th reason as to why you should be booking your flight to Italy by the time this video is over, as it is a country which can benefit greatly from tourism all year round. It has perfect beaches which are ready to welcome millions of tourists during the summer, and just a few kilometers on the inside and they can count on 2 really important mountain ranges. Following the skeleton of the peninsula, the Apennines range from Liguria all the way to Calabria, and even though they do not offer as many skiing facilities due to the limited height compared to other mountain chains, they still have a large variety of fauna and spots to go hiking. However, who's taking the crown here when it comes to absolutely killing the skiing scene in the European winter is the Alps, the mountain chain ranging all the way from the west side of northern Italy to Slovenia. And they function as a natural border between Italy and the rest of Europe, and they were infamously crossed by Hannibal during the Second Punic War with the aid of African elephants, while the Carthaginians were to invade Rome. Some of the highest peaks of Europe are in northern Italy, such as Mount Blanc, which lies right on the border with France, and Mount Rosa. There are many areas above Milan and Bozen that attract tourists from all over Italy and the world when the skiing season is underway. The fifth reason is shopping, and indeed many people know about it. Milan in particular is the worldwide capital of fashion, and many people essentially just travel to Milan to just go shopping when it's sale season, which usually occurs in January and July. These months are when the mass hysteria for purchasing any kind of product comes in. It's basically like a Black Friday, which is spread over a few weeks. Entire families anticipate the day that sales start, stores are packed, and so on. People from abroad as well know that they have a chance to purchase quality brands at a good price, and that's why they come for it. Also, Italy has a reputation for being home to some of the most renowned fashion designers in the world, such as Valentino, and this idea contributes to the perception that Italy is one of the best places to enhance your wardrobe in general, and there's even a bigger incentive in doing so when you know you can do it for cheap. Now, last but not least, number 6 is sports, and by sports I have to say I mean football mainly. Italy is one of those countries where football is felt almost like a religion and pretty much everybody follows it. If you're going to ask any random person on the street what team they support, they're going to know right away that you're talking about football, and they will provide you with an answer. What this means for tourists is that they have the chance to take part in the really evocative atmosphere of a football match in Italy, with the National Football League being really followed abroad as well, but being especially felt by Italians. And also, top teams are scattered pretty much all over the country, so wherever you are, there's a good chance you will have the opportunity to take part in the party. Also, Italian football stadiums are pretty much iconic and they are renowned all over Europe. If you come in the summer, however, when the football season is off, there's still a chance that you might be able to find events of sports that you might be a fan of, such as MotoGP and Formula 1. They still give out a pretty awesome experience, and they hold racing events usually between June and September. So I really hope these 6 reasons were enough for you to close down YouTube and jump into booking your flight to Italy. If so, please make sure you draw me one of these, and I'll see you in the next video.